of a tambourine. You can apply this to anything pretty much metallic-y and rhythmic. Also percussive too. There's something about taking a little component like this loop and tricking it out with different patterns. So let's say, for instance, I have this pattern here, right? Can you hear how like the tambourine is just... So one of my favorite things I love to do is at the very end of like the bar. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. On that fourth bar, on that fourth like part of the measure for the bar, double speed it. And I'll tell you exactly why. It's so dope because you can control like that sound. You can make it turn into something that's like a little bit more experimental with the rhythms. So it variates the rhythms a little bit. I might actually just keep 1 instead of 2. So yeah, like at every end of the bar. You know what I kind of want to do? I'm going to switch this whole rim up. Hold up. I hear something crazier than that snare. Let me put that tambourine over here. Ooh, let me go to this new pack I'm working on. Get the snare. I just need to get a rim. Just one rim. And that'll do enough business for us today. Yeah, I'm gonna just hit this. Ooh. Yep. This is great. Flip mode? Yo, rest in peace, Magoo. Rest in peace, Magoo. I just thought about that. Let's make this up an octave right here. Yeah. And put it on complex. And then kind of put it a little behind. A little behind the measure. That way I can like create more atmospheres. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little experimental thing I used to do a lot. One of my favorite things I used to do a lot, and this is literally the last thing I'll do before I make another beat. Sometimes I like to take drum loops and double the loops up. And I'll explain what that is. Back in the early 2013s, man, that sounds like it's not supposed to be a decade. But back in 2013, 2012, 2013, I fell in love with that very jungle-ish kind of like rhythm section that Flying Lotus used to do a lot of in his production. And so me and Kazal Organism, shout out to Kazal if you ever see this, Kazal Organism, we both would take like drum loops and double time them. Like, not like slow them down, but speed them up to basically make them a little bit more experimental and such. So let's say, for instance, I'm gonna just pick a random drum break I got. So let's say 282 drums, right? Let's say I take this drum break and I speed it up ×2 and I hit the repitch. Watch what happens when I turn it up. So one thing I like to do, and this is something I used to do a lot of, I would basically take that pitch, go back up an octave, and just kind of like experiment with the different beats and take out all the low end too. So this is what you're gonna do first. You're gonna take out all the low end. You're gonna make sure the chorus is on for acid effects. That way you can get more of an experimental touch to it. And you're gonna turn this down. Now, the kick drum is gonna be a huge component to making this thing like kind of sound whacked out and like percussive in a way. Because the whole point of this is to get some really intricate rhythms out of just experimenting with drum loops on top of a drum loop. So this is what it sounds like. You can literally take those little components and just stretch it out as much as you want. So check this out. I just took the same loop, consolidated it into another audio file. And sometimes I would play around with the different backbeats. And it might give you some cool little experimental. Woo! Ooh, I like that. I like that. And then we're gonna go here and just double this back up again. This is what we used to do. It's so many different pockets. You can come up with so much stuff. That's the funniest thing about like jungle music right now. Is like and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just turn this little thing on and off, and I'm gonna go and add this verse. But that's something cool that I like to do. It's just basically like experiment with the rhythms and get different pockets out of it. That way you can really stretch one loop to do more. Y'all know that clip of y'all know that clip of Timbaland talking about you can really like stretch a loop and take it and turn it into different things. This is one of those things. It's one of. And hilariously enough, I used to make a lot of stuff like this. I'm glad I'm getting back to my roots.